This is Baggies View. Coming up, we preview the Black Country Derby at the Hawthorns. Hello and welcome to Baggies View. I'm Paul Bradley and I'm joined in our Fort Dunlop studios by West Bromwich Albion correspondent Chris Ludkowski. Hi Chris.
Hi.
Let's get straight to the big game at the weekend. It's obviously Wolves, Black Country Derby game. Di Matteo will be looking for a reaction after that defeat at Villa Park.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to lose two derbies back to back. Albion have got a fairly decent record against Wolves, but you know that won't count for much this weekend. Wolves have just come off the back of a very impressive win against Birmingham. I think that surprised a lot of people, really, given the injury problems they've got. But Albion looked a bit lethargic towards the end of the game on Saturday, so it'll be interesting to see what changes he makes.
How important is it that there is a result in this game for West Brom?
Well, it's important to don't lose first and foremost. I think a draw would be acceptable to a degree, but I think Albion fans will be expecting a victory, and you know, league position and form up until the weekend would suggest that would be correct. You know, I think they clearly missed Peter Odemwingie on Saturday. The midfield really didn't function to the needs or demands of Marc-Antoine Fortuné, who didn't have a great game anyway. So if we're to assume that Peter Odemwingie didn't make it, and at this stage we still don't know, but if he wasn't to make it and Marc-Antoine Fortuné was to start, I think Albion have to adapt accordingly. And I think, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see a few more changes. I think Joseph Malumbo will come back in. Wouldn't be surprised to see Nicky Shorey back in, although he seems to have dropped out of favour a little bit. But I suspect that we'll see a charged up Albion team, if you like. Certainly different to the one that finished the game at Villa.
So where do you think the key battles will be, and where do you think the game will be won and lost?
Well, Wolves are quite strong up front. I think Sylvan Ebanks-Blake played a key role against Birmingham. He's got great pace, so they'll have to be wary of him. But equally, I think Wolves are relatively weak at the back. Not a lot of pace there. And if we're to assume they played a one up front, which they have done, and regardless of whether it's Fortuné or Odemwingie, I think the midfield will be keen so much as their movement and their attacking instincts. I think they've got to really put Wolves back on the back foot, put them under pressure early on, and I think Albion, that will be the key for Albion. If they can put Wolves' defence under pressure, I think they might get some joy this Sunday.
And with the busy Christmas period coming up, Di Matteo is going to be really conscious. He doesn't want this to turn into another mini slump, I suppose.
No, well, that's right. I mean, they've got some tough games coming up over the coming weeks anyway. So what they don't want to do is certainly lose a local derby again. I mean, the Wolves haven't won at the Hawthorns for something like 14 years. You know, that Albion have got a fairly decent record against Wolves, but it's absolutely critical, really, that they at least get something from this game to take them into this Christmas period. Bolton and Blackburn coming up, so I think they'll fancy their chances though.
Okay, Chris. Well, thanks for that today, and thank you for watching. We'll be back on Monday with more Baggies View.